Here are 5 signs you need to cut them off. Welcome to Relevant Resources. Okay, now life happens, and sometimes we have connections with people that really need to be cut off. So I'm going to go over these 5 and let me know which one fits you. Coming in at number 1, not respecting your boundaries. Now, I will say I have cut some of my family members off about this because I love my family. But one thing about my family is over the years I gained weight. And, why and how I gained weight is my personal business. But what I will say is when I would come around, they would say mean and hurtful things. And I would say, hey, I don't like that. That hurts my feelings. And they would consistently do it. Well, guess what? Cut off. Y'all ain't got to worry about me. Now when they hold events and they're like, why is no one coming? Because you've insulted everybody. So now people don't want to show up. Number 2, using you for what you have or can do for them. Now, I've had some people in my life who only came around when they wanted something. They never called me and say, hey girl, would you like to come to my birthday party? Hey girl, would you like to come out to dinner with me and a few friends? It was never that. They only called me when they needed a shoulder to cry on. They only called me when they wanted to vent about something. They only called me when they had a problem. So if you run into people like that, listen, go ahead and set some boundaries, and that may be a relationship that you need to talk about. Say, hey girl, why do you only call me when you have a problem? Why do you never call me when it's time to celebrate or their success? So, you might need to inquire about what's going on with their relationship. And if it's not fitting for you, don't be afraid to go ahead and cut it off. Because one thing I hate is that I've always been there for others, but when I need someone for me, they're not returning that same energy. So, see where people fit in your life and if they need to go or not. Number 3, you might need to cut out that connection if they are in secret competition with you. Now, some of you don't realize this, but some people only want to know your business. They only want to know your moves so that they can compete. So now I don't tell people anything. I had to learn this the hard way. People will want to know what you're doing in efforts to, one, be in secret competition with you, or to two, possibly sabotage it. So I always keep what I got going on under wraps until I'm ready to let the world know. I suggest you do the same. Don't talk too much about what you got going on because there are people waiting to sabotage it or hoping and praying that it fails. And I got a story time. So I once had this cousin who was getting married, and um her bridesmaids decided not to show on her wedding day. Imagine that. You thinking these girls are your friends and they just ditch you on your wedding day. That's some sabotage going on. So be mindful of the people in your life. And hey, sometimes you need to cut out that connection. Number 4, they bring out the worst in you. Have you ever been chill and calm most of the time, and then you get around this one person, now your anxiety flares up, you're sad, you're crying, and possibly ready to nuck if you bug. Okay, so that person is bringing out the worst in you. You might need to go ahead and cut those ties because who wants their mental health affected by someone's presence or interaction in their lives? You know, but again, it's at your discretion because sometimes, depending on who the person is, y'all may be able to work through it with therapy. So, like, let's say, for example, that's your mom or your sister. Sometimes you can work through some things because, hey, I get it. I get it. But you also have to know, hey, it might be just time to go ahead and cut this off because this is not healthy for me at all. And number 5, they start introducing you to bad habit and activities. Okay, if you know that you don't want to do XYZ, and then this person comes around and they want you to do XYZ. So, for example, let's say you don't drink or you don't smoke, and now this person say, "Girl, take a drink, take a drink, take a drink, take a drink," or "Girl, smoke, girl, do this and that," and you're not comfortable with that, and that's something that you don't want to do. Go ahead and say, you know what, this might not be a good connection between you and I because you're trying to force me to do things I don't want to do. And it could also be going places you don't want to go. If you know that you don't want to go to places where there is drugs, alcohol, drama, save yourself the time. That doesn't fit me. So, we might need to reevaluate this friendship. And let's be for real, we all know that some people can be bad influences. So just keep that in mind. And if you like this type of content, make sure you like and subscribe for more.